Hello, welcome to another video. This video is on differentiation, finding derivatives. As you can see, you'll have to do a lot of chain rules. Okay, right? Yeah. Shout out to one of my subscribers who sent in this question, Jolly Sammy. Yeah, Jolly Sammy. Thanks for sending in this question because it's a great tool to help people build the character of persistence, of knowing how to use the chain rule correctly. Okay, so I'm going to start solving it. It shouldn't take us long. Just follow the steps that I'm going to give. So the first thing is I see a natural log function here. I know I have to take the derivative of both sides, and I have to do this implicitly because I have x on the left and y on the right. So and because I cannot isolate the y, I have to do implicit differentiation. So that's the first thing you must know. Secondly, there's a function of a function, so the chain rule is involved, and then you have to do the trig differentiations also, and the derivative of the natural log. The first thing I'm going to do is rewrite this expression because this exponent here makes this expression look weird, but fortunately it is the argument of a natural log function, so I can say that it is the cosine of, I'm going to bring this down, I'm going to say it's 5x squared plus 10 multiplied by the natural log of 5. You see that? I have rewritten this expression, which is now equal to the sine of the cosine of the sine of 3y squared. Okay. So how do you take derivatives? Firstly, let's start from the outside. The derivative of cosine is negative sine. So my first answer here is going to be negative sine of this expression, which is 5x squared plus 10x, I'm sorry, plus 10x ln of 5. And then, so this is what I have on the outside. This is the argument multiplied by the derivative of the inside. Well, remember that this is a constant, so you don't need to worry about ln of 5. You just need to find the derivative of this. So the derivative of the inside is going to be 10x plus 10 multiplied by ln of 5. So this ln 5 is still there. So we have just differentiated the left-hand side. Ooh, you know what? Because this part of the board is not long enough, or maybe I'm just going to extend the board this way. Okay, equals, let's do the right-hand side. So the right-hand side is going to be this derivative. What was the derivative of sine? It's going to be cosine. It's going to be cosine of the argument. So the first step is the cosine of the cosine of cosine, the cosine of this. So you just copy this, just repeat this. Cosine of sine 3y squared. Okay, that's the first step. The second step is you now have to take the derivative of the inside, which is now going to change this to minus sine. So you're multiplying by minus sine of, leave this argument, sine 3y squared. Okay. And thirdly, you go inside and take the derivative of sine, which is going to be cosine. It's going to be cosine of 3y squared. Okay? And now you take the derivative of 3y squared, which is going to be times 6y dy dx. So this is where your dy dx shows up. You see how far away you have to find dy dx? Well, there's only one dy dx, so the answer to this question is dy dx is equal to the left-hand side divided by the right-hand side. That's it, divided by this. So if you just push this under this, that's your answer. But before you do that, it's always good to clean up. Okay, so let's just clean up a little bit. And I think it's better to bring the less complicated functions forward, okay? So I'm going to first bring this minus sign forward. So what I have will be negative. And then I'm going to bring this 6y forward. 6y. Now I'm going to bring the smaller functions forward. I know that cosine 3y squared is smaller, so I'm going to write cosine 3y squared. And then this is even smaller, but the minus is already out, so I'm just going to write sine of sine 3y squared. And the next one is the last one, which is the most complicated, which is the cosine of sine 3y squared. Okay, so I've got that. Now on the left hand side, what kind of cleanup can I do? You see, I can factor out 10 here. So I can see this expression here. I'm going to move this to the back and say this is minus, I'm going to take this up here, natural log of 5 to the 10x plus 10. And on the back here, it's going to be sine of natural log of 5 to the 5x squared plus 10x. Okay, as you can see, 5x ln 5x squared plus 10x was part of the question in the first place. So now that everything is cleaned up, all we have to do is to find our dy dx. Okay, so yeah, I did forget to put this dy will be isolated. And remember, for you to get dy dx, you divide this side by whatever is multiplying this. So our answer is going to be this divided by this. And you notice that when you divide this by this, the two negative signs will disappear. So we can say our final answer, dy dx, will be equal to this side divided by this portion, which is going to be without the minus now because they'll cancel out. So all we have here is the natural log of 5 to the 10x plus 10 multiplied by sine of the argument, which is the natural log of 5 raised to power 5x squared plus 10x. Okay, that's where we are, all divided by this portion, which starts with 6y, and then you have the cosine of 3y squared, then multiplied by the sine of 3y squared multiplied by. This is the answer that we've been looking for. Okay? I hope you learned something. If you did, like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Don't stop learning. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and on Twitter, because sometimes I just tweet some mathematical things that might be of interest to you. Don't stop learning. Those who stop learning stops living. Bye-bye.